Hey Virgo, sorry, the light is just streaming in the window. We're going to be able to see in such a way. I can't move the sun. Um, and I'm not a Leo, so I don't think I literally can, or Aries. um, I love Aries and Leos, my fellow fire signs. Okay, so Virgo, December. Let's look at astrology, very, very brief overview. We're in the sign of Sagittarius as we move into the month of December. On the 14th, Sagittarius has their new moon. On the solstice of December 21st, we have a Jupiter-Saturn conjunction in Aquarius. So I encourage you to go look in the night sky because it's really beautiful. Astrology, while I love astrology, but it's bullshit. It's not scientific. The actual placement of the planets and the constellations is real. So you can go out and see these beautiful, bright planets very close to each other. It's really something to see, and doesn't happen very often at all. And so I was doing a little bit of reading because I'm not an astrologer, and these they haven't been this close for a while, and even hundreds of years. Different factors come into play. I don't get too into the weeds, but it signifies the change of an era. Um, you'll think of what's happening now, right now, and moving forward as, I mean, you think of things like the Depression, and they don't necessarily have to be negative, but um, the Victorian era. You can think of different periods of time and so this time frame may get a name even. Could be the pandemic era, the post-pandemic era. I don't know. Hopefully, it can be a little bit more exciting than that, but I could see it's such a profound event. Excuse me. And then, so Jupiter is Sag energy. It's expansive and positive and lucky and friendly and enthusiastic and um, just like a big bounding golden retriever, right? And then Saturn's the grown up, the Capricorn. Okay, that's great that you just want to run and play, Sag, but someone has to pay the bills. Someone has to um, keep a roof over our heads and food in the fridge and plan for retirement. We just can't be carefree and run wild. That's not realistic. So, but then it's in Aquarius. And Aquarius is the deep thinker, and they're like, but wait a minute. How can we figure out how to have both? Sorry, how can we make that happen? And again, I'm not an astrologer. This is just my take on it. And then December 30th, we have a full moon in Cancer, which to me is like Cancer's just home. It's a big hug. It's comfort. It's understanding. They're very rock solid for a water sign. Um, and they're just like, okay. It's going to be okay. And they're cardinal, but come on. It's time to move forward. Okay. It's time to move forward. It's going to be okay. Let's just keep moving forward. So I was doing my channeling for you, Virgo. I got right off a backup, to have a backup plan. And so backup. So I have a backup plan, have a backup of something, backing your computer up. We're not in Mercury retrograde anymore, but I don't know. I can't remember what Mercury is doing right now, but you may want to make sure you back things up, make a copy of things, etc. Okay. Okay, then I got that you may be having some anxiety, and we do have the Five of Cups just flipped out, so that may explain that. Some sort of loss or grieving. Having three of your Five Cups spill. I'm seeing that you're really leaning into metaphysical things, which for an Earth sign, you like facts, you like grounded, you like tangible things, are comforting and make sense to you. But I see you branching out and maybe going places in your mind and with your feelings. And so, meditation, breathing, yoga, I think you're going to find it unbelievably beneficial for anxiety and worry that you may have. And is something that you're really going to start incorporating into your life potentially. If you're very sensitive to sunlight, in the sense that if you live somewhere where it gets dark certain times of the year, what is that, seasonal affective disorder, or you just really thrive in sunlight, or you need sunlight, maybe it's something about your vitamin D, to get your go to the doctor and get your vitamin D levels checked and see if you should take supplements or something. Finding ways to see the sun, be in the sun. I just have my blinds closed right now because it was making weird glare on the screen. I wonder if I can open it up if it'll make it worse. It's definitely making it worse. Right there seems to be good. Even sitting in a window, getting at lunch, going, if you don't have an office with a window, finding ways to see the sun, be in the sun, put a chair next to the sun, even in the winter time. And this, I could do this during the pandemic because I've been working from home. If it was above 30, or if it was somewhere around 30 but not too windy or chilly and it was sunny out, I was out on my deck in my winter clothes soaking up the sun. And I really think it helped mentally, really helped my mental state. And I'm seeing the Eight of Pentacles. So the Eight of Pentacles energy in the tarot. Oh, this is pretty good lighting now. I think some of the other signs had shit lighting, but oh well. So the Eight of Pentacles is doing something that feeds your soul, finding, so this could be literally anything, and it's going to be individual to everyone. For some people, it's exercise, yoga, doing something creative, doing something, but it could be anything, working on cars. You may love organizing things. Virgos are very organizing. My Virgo friend and I, one time, she had a lot of Playmobil stuff and Legos of her kids that her husband, the way he cleans up is just to dump everything in one bin and shove it away, and I like to keep Lego pieces with the Lego set it came with. So we sat one day and had some drinks and just we sat there for hours, and we still talk about it to this day because there was something so meditative, and we just had the best time sitting there and chatting and sorting Playmobil and Lego pieces. I don't even know how to explain it. I guess we've been, the two of us like to do puzzles too, so it's something about it. But it could be anything, cooking. My dad, when he needs to sort of be replenish his soul, he likes to go out into the woods and trim brush and cut firewood and tinker outside. So it could be anything. Let's see, my weekly screen time. Oh, it went away. I was like, wonder what. Oh, it was down 6%. I don't feel bad about that because I read on my phone. So you may need to move something in your home. I'm reading my notes. Like a plant. A plant may need, so there's something about light, need more or less light. Repot, refresh, rearrange, deep cleaning of an area or declutter. I also see you studying. So history, people, anthropology, sociology. I haven't read this book, but I have it on my list. Sapiens is supposed to be really fascinating. Human nature. I see colder climates. So you may just maybe you'll read a book on something or something. If you're like me, if I'm watching a show, like when I watch the show Victoria, I'm always like, okay, did this really happen? Because it's obviously based on a real person, but you never know how much is true events or artistic liberty. And so I find myself looking up, like, did Albert really fall through the ice and almost drown? And did Victoria save him? And that was real, and things like that. So you may be just um, have your interest piqued about something and find yourself, and it could be many things, find yourself sort of getting into a topic that has come up for some reason. Again, I see you guys really leaning and maybe getting into metaphysical things and psychic abilities, feng shui, astrology, things like the Myers-Briggs, anagram. Is that how you pronounce that? Just got the chills. And then thinking about writing a book. I think some of you have a book in you. Now, whether if it's a novel or you're doing research on a topic to write about it, it doesn't have to be a book. It could be a blog. It could be anything. But yeah, I definitely see some research and writing going on. All right, because these are getting awfully long, let's get into the reading. What's at the bottom? 5 spirals. Who just had this? Pisces. I don't know if you have a Pisces in your life. This is the 5 of so 5s in the tarot are like conjunctions and squares in astrology. They're a minor thing, but if they need to be dealt with, or they can become more significant. So I like to say, if you have a pebble in your shoe and you're just walking around the house, it's not a big deal. But if you go out for a long walk, it's going to cause problems. It's going to cause blister. You're going to have to stop and deal with the pebble. It's going to have to be dealt with and removed. So it can be, and this is the fire energy. This can be competitive. So this competition can be great. You may do 5Ks on the weekend to keep you motivated to run through the week, for example. Great competition, great motivating. It can be very motivating, but it can also be not so friendly competition and become more of a burden or a little bit obsessive, trying to keep up with the Joneses, things like that. So is it benefiting your energy or draining your energy, something? And if it's draining your energy, then it may be a person, situation that sometimes we have to deal with something, but do you really have to deal with that? Do you really have to continue to engage? And so you may need to have a tough conversation with someone. Page of Cups, more water energy, because we have this 5 of Cups here. So this is a young water sign. This person can be very dreamy, very creative, very emotional, good or bad. Just a little bit ruled by their emotions. If they feel down, they feel very, very down. If they feel up, they feel very, very up, and maybe are more reactive with whatever emotions they're feeling at the moment. Whereas mature water signs can say, "Oh, okay, I got this this nasty email from someone," and instead of taking it personally and firing back an equally emotional, nasty email or whatever, I know to not take it personally, or I know to sit on it so I can wait and respond when I'm not going to reactively respond and potentially be hurtful or make the situation worse. I don't need to add gasoline to the fire. It's a message. It's messages about something that elicits an emotional response. It could be a message of love. It could be young people in love, hearing about someone getting in relationships or anything like that. Someone really exploring their creative side, exploring art. Now the 5 of Mirrors, which is next, which is this 5 of Cups, I think I already said, is having 5 cups full and 3 of them have spilled, and focusing on those 3 spilled cups and not seeing the 2 full ones in the behind you. Now, if something bad happens, there's nothing wrong with grieving and it being hyper focused for a while. Um, but there is a lesson of perspective. So again, this is that water energy. I don't know if you're dealing with water signs. I feel like there's a lot of sort of people's emotions who are kind of all over the place. Maybe you have a lot of people in your house. You have young kids. You are with a water sign, or your water sign, you have a lot of water in your chart and you're just feeling like a lot of drama. There could be just a lot of drama going on. Um, but the 5 of Cups, the lesson is, okay, where you're focusing your energy goes, and there is a choice to be made at some point to remember that there are the 2 full cups behind you, and you can pick those 3 cups up and fill them again. It's not all is lost, and to keep things in perspective. It could be someone pining. Maybe you have someone in your life that a relationship is broken up, or it could be you, and one or the other, it wasn't necessarily mutual, and the other one's still pining after the other one. The pages to me can be technology and stalking and, cyber stalking and still looking at people's Facebook page. And so maybe time to block and delete. I think I'm not on Facebook much, but I think you can like take a break from someone. But you may just want to go ahead and full on block someone because I don't know. There's also this issue of closure that comes up with the 5 of Cups for me. I think it was Glennon Doyle, and this was so perfect. Is closure is just, I think it was Glennon Doyle. It says, to her, closure is just an excuse to keep the drama going. And I was like, yes, yeah, I agree. So why are we keeping the communications open? I have a friend who still is on one of her ex-husband who's really, what's the word? Irresponsible with finances. She's still on one of his accounts. And because I'm a know-it-all pain in the ass, I was like, hey, what if he overdraws his account? You could be, he's not good with money. You could be liable for those charges and fees and everything. If you're on the account, that's your responsibility as much as his. She's like, yeah, but I like seeing what he's doing. And they have a child together that's an adult. So there's no reason but to keep that cord going, to keep that control, to keep, in my mind, I don't know. I'm a judgmental bitch though. So thinking about, someone may be trying to keep tabs on you or vice versa, or you're witnessing this with someone and you're kind of starting to be like, ooh, the drama. I think you're just going to be like, fucking A, as a grounded sign, like, fuck, people can, that's where the meditation and sort of the escape and the getting in the way and the self-care you're doing. I think you're just like, okay, I need to, maybe if you're empathic, you take on other people's drama and you need to put boundaries in place so that it doesn't just drive you crazy and suck your energy. 3 of Stones. There could be drama in the workplace. The 3 of Stones is about teamwork, managers, everyone on the team's role being important and being a vital member and having good teamwork, everyone pulling their weight. It can encourage you to apply for managerial positions. It can also point, because in a more traditional Rider-Waite deck, there's an art. It usually shows an artist, a craftsperson. It shows the person doing the work. It shows the person with the plans. And then it shows either a supervisor, or I also see it sometimes as someone admiring the work, taking note, getting noticed. So if you do something creative, if you do something, sorry, I have the humor of a 12-year-old boy. If you do something creative, people may be starting to notice it and getting some recognition. You may start selling stuff or picking up an audience or picking up followers. That's nice. There could be drama in a team if you work on a team as well at work. Some where this competition comes in. Um, But I see you being able to stay above the fray and keep things in perspective with your self care and your more philosophical, metaphysical approach to things that can really help you stay your grounded self while maybe emotions around you are a little heightened this month. And I think getting things on paper and writing something about that would be very beneficial to you. Okay, Virgo, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have I haven't been saying this to anyone. Happy holidays. I've kind of forgotten what's going on in December, except for my birthday. I bring up my birthday because it's all about me. I hope you have a wonderful holiday, a wonderful December, a happy new year, and be well.